Hi, welcome to IBC 2017. I'm Joe O'Halloran, Editor-in-Chief of Rapid TV News, and I'm here at Bhaskar Majumdar, Head of Marketing Asia at Globecast. Bhaskar, welcome to our Rapid Videos.
Thank you.
Now, we're here with an incredibly busy IBC, and it's been an incredibly busy year. What's been the difference in the last 12 months, do you see?
For our addressable market, what we do for Globecast for our clients, right? Our addressable market is basically the international distribution and media management for channels. We are seeing a lot of change in that market. It's growing, primarily driven by the transition from standard definition to high definition. It's surprising that it's happening now. The reason for that happening now is because the broadcasters consolidated the domestic markets first, around 2015 and 2016. So when they upgraded from standard definition to high definition in the domestic markets, that phase is already over. And now, the channels in the US, UK, and Europe are looking at launching high definition channels in international markets, like Asia. And that is one of the primary growth drivers. The second thing that is happening is they have realized that monetization can be better in case they are able to localize the content. Localization of content is not only in terms of programs, but also in adverts. So you have a time slot, and do you want to run the same advert in Japan that you're running in Korea or in Taiwan? You get 3x benefits if you're able to change that advert. And therefore, being able to provide localization solutions to international broadcasters to enable them to improve their monetization is a growth driver for us as well.
Well, you mentioned the transition from SD to HD. The next step of that, obviously, is to Ultra HD. There's a lot of Ultra HD around here. What's the story on Ultra HD for Globecast?
We have been doing a lot of Ultra HD events, which are primarily around sports, live sports, and events. The latest example being the Universiade in Taiwan, the 29th one, which was held in August. We did a 4K Ultra HD HEVC transmission. So our networks, both in terms of satellite and fiber network, are ready for Ultra HD. However, we are seeing a lot of events which are coming for live. When it comes to broadcasters, as I said, they have just managed their transition from standard definition to high definition in their domestic markets, and they're looking at transitioning to high definition in the international markets. So for us, what we are seeing is that the broadcasters are a little slow because to transition to Ultra HD, the traditional broadcasters who are the general entertainment category, for example. So because they have to upgrade their entire production chain, the supply line has to upgrade. And that is highly capex intensive, right? So for us, for a standard TV channel to upgrade to Ultra HD is still a little way off. However, we see sports is moving forward.
The other thing that's moving forward is multiscreen. How are you responding to the demands by users to raise the bar on quality and have content everywhere, anywhere?
Yes. Multiscreen is really catching up. There was a study published in June. In the Asian markets, we are seeing that between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., VOD is about to surpass the traditional linear TV watching, especially, and this is within a particular segment. This segment is millennials and post-millennials. So when you look at millennials and post-millennials, they're multitasking. The consumer habits are completely different. Somebody might be doing their homework at the same time as watching Game of Thrones. So they're watching on tablets and smartphones where they actually need an acceptable quality of service. They're not going to be very finicky about 55-inch, 60-inch screens with Ultra HD and whether it pixelates or not.
Absolutely.
So when you get to that level of service, what you need to be able to give the customer is an acceptable quality which does not stop, okay, or pixelate, and the customer has a good experience with it. So in terms of technology, we are seeing the development of something called a CDN selector. With a smart selector, you can have contracts with multiple CDN providers. And the fact is that not all CDNs are performing equally well in all geographies at the same time. There might be a CDN which is doing a live sports event like a baseball match or a soccer match in a particular geography for that night. It might not be the right CDN for you to use. So you need to have a tool in your central operations center which automatically detects the load on that CDN and switches you to another network.
So all these advances will we be seeing here at IBC? What we got on show?
Okay, so what Globecast is trying to do is to get closer to our customers and develop more intimate and closer relationships with our customers so that we are able to grow our customers in the life cycle that they are with us. Our roadmap is actually along these lines. So we have 3 or 4 key initiatives that I would like to talk about. The first of which is My Globecast, an ubiquitous portal that allows a customer with Globecast to be able to view the status of their services globally, whether they are on a particular satellite in Africa or in Asia or in Europe or on any part of our fiber network. They can see service by service what is the status of the service. The second thing that it does for them is if they are using playout and VOD services for us, they are able to see the status of their content. It's no longer a black box. Globecast is opening up its network to its customers and saying, Mr. Customer, here you are, this is how we are doing, and if there is an issue, we can sort it out. So we believe that this kind of transparency in a cloud-enabled era will help us to build closer relationships with our customers. The second key initiative is Cloud Playout. As I said earlier to you, localization is becoming very important to us. Customers want flexible solutions because they are exploring new and international markets. Gone are those days when, to launch a channel in Korea or Taiwan, you would have to enter into a 5-year satellite contract and a 5-year distribution contract with a fiber provider. And then after 3 months, you think the business is not viable and you end up with a lot of losses in the business. Cloud Playout is a solution which enables customers to try out new markets, provides them the flexibility for shorter term contracts, and at the same time enables them to localize content with ease. The next thing that we are doing is, okay, you're a customer and you are the CTO of a broadcaster. You will ask me, okay, Cloud Playout gives me the flexibility that is demanded today, but what about the transport solutions, right? Do I still need to sign a satellite contract with you? Is it absolutely mandatory to do that? We have a solution called GCXN. GCXN builds on our extensive experience on fiber networks. Today in the cloud era and with internet coming on, along with Cloud Playout, we have merged GCXN as the preferred transport solution for a customer who is looking for flexibility. Globecast has perfected the technology for delivery of real-time, live, broadcast quality signals over the GCXN network, which is an internet network in real time. And the proof of the pudding is in the maturity of the technology itself, whereby just before IBC, we signed a contract with Euronews, who saw the maturity of the technology and shifted some of their traditional distribution contracts into the cloud-delivered GCXN network. Actually, we are delivering 8 of their channels to international locations using the GCXN network today.
So finally, you mentioned the clouds and hybrid and new models. How do you take that going forward in, you said, the heritage of live sports? What's new?
Okay. So in live sports, what we see is centralized production. A lot of the customers are coming back and telling us we want similar kind of flexibility that you're offering to your traditional broadcasters in live events as well. So centralized production helps them to optimize their costs. We've done quite a few events in France using centralized production. Moving forward, we'll continue to do that. The other key initiative that we have is something called Live Spotter. With the advent of social networks, many customers are coming to us and saying, okay, here's the live feed, but can you create a VOD out of that, along with the associated metadata and a bit of editing on the fly, using an on-the-fly media asset management tool, and push it out onto social networks like Facebook and YouTube. And we are able to do that today.
Well, we look forward to seeing it in the future.
Thank you.
Bhaskar, thank you very much. And thank you for watching.